ευχαριστώ όλους όσους παρά τις αντίξωες συνθήκες κατάφεραν να...
Thank you very much. I would like to thank all of you that in spite of all difficulties have succeeded in coming. I would like to thank all of you that are interested in this dialogue. The crisis which has been recently attacking the European South not only started as a series of parallel stories. Each country, headed by Greece, experienced their national solitude with despair and with the feeling of impasse. None of them wanted to be in the same framework with Greece, in spite of the fact that one after the other followed our steps. In spite of the differences, we have many points in common. For example, youth unemployment, more than 50%, 100,000 Portuguese living from the former colonies. The Spanish language became the second language in Oslo. The Greek schools in Istanbul have students once more, while the Germans, the migration to Germany comes back to the date of 1960. In the south of the hundreds of thousands which seek the daily food in soup kitchens, when there are many homeless people where there are no national conventions, and the social state becomes charitable or retributive. In the south, which is experiencing the racism of the South with the acronym PIGS, which supports populism. In the South, where there is a Thatcherist dogma, Tina, there is no alternative. Let's see how things are today. We're living in a narration that has to do with the squandering North and the South and the hardworking North. We are experiencing the Aesop's fable of the ant and the grasshopper. A theory which undermines solidarity. What is important is at the moment of the collapse of the communist regimes in Europe, geopolitical and ideological changes are taking place. The social democracy loses its ideological hegemony, while it is the one which invented, structured, with delays, failures, retrogression, and insufficiency, the Europe of solidarity and cohesion. This shift does not take place overnight. The deregulation of the financial market will have a major contribution, and this will lead to the gradual prevalence of the conservative powers in Europe. So with the onset of the crisis, the right imposed the agenda, indicated the culprits, divided the European Union to good and evil. The social democracy has not been able to offer an overall alternative plan of exit from the crisis, a new progressive narration. We did quite a lot of things. We offered new, innovating but fragmentary solutions, as for example the tax on financial transactions and Eurobond. I do not want to be misunderstood. These proposals are very important redistribution tools, but on their own, they are not enough. There is no framework within which they will be able to be used as tools. The prevailing proposals with the one-sided austerity and the harsh financial discipline are insufficient, and because they are not followed by proposals that give a new lease of life and a new perspective to societies which are suffocating under the pressure of the crisis. The worst thing is that many of us follow sluggishly the idea that there are no alternatives, and this is a major mistake. There is no doubt that we need to tidy up the financial field. We need radical transformation, structural changes, removal of the chronic pathogenesis, but within a framework which promises redistribution and maintains an elementary net of social protection. Redistribution was always a key word heard from the left. Unfortunately, today it has disappeared. So we're asked to see whether there is a progressive alternative for the European South. Why for the South only? Simply because a company of the North does not compete with the same borrowing interest rates. Just think of Fiat and Volkswagen. Just think of a hotel owner in Crete and another one in the Alps. We do not have the same production coefficients as, for example, energy. We want to be very clear. The North is not to blame for the crisis of the South. Our pathogenesis lies in our structures. The crisis is pan-European. In the South, it assumes other distinguishable features. So, together with the other countries of the South, we should find through our dilemmas common answers. And on the other, we should reinvent the meaning of solidarity. And if the European social model has been shaken, we should try and see what can be saved, and we should enrich it with new ideas and proposals. The solution is through and from the European Union, a union which is not simply an avenger and an accountant, but a union which has heart in the field of redistribution and justice. For the left, reform does not necessarily mean deregulation. The radical structures are necessary, but we should have a feeling of choice, justice, democracy, and authentic choices. The left is linked with a claim of a progressive change, reform of our society. What happens today is the introduction by the European to the national Southern European political scene of a democracy which manages tolerance. Among the countries of the South, the policies that we adopt are comparable in the same way that unemployment is comparable. And our main objective is to increase competitiveness. The challenge of social cohesion we should conquer again means that we should move within the framework of a direct consultation directly with the citizens. The South in Talk is a process which will develop from the point of view of thematology and from the point of view of the technical level for the citizens of the South. But things are very clear. The periphery should establish a dialogue because up till now it has been facing similar challenges in a fragmentary way. This is a challenge. This is a challenge which cannot limit itself in a blog or in a meeting, but it should exist even as a challenge. Thank you.